We opened a grave we sealed 1 year ago. And found an empty coffin. That should have been impossible. Because 6 hours earlier, we had just buried the men inside it. For the second time. And what happened after midnight in the embalming room is why I'm telling this now. There's a town on the Washington coast called Gravesend. Most maps don't bother marking it. Fog rolls in so thick some nights the road disappears. And locals say if you keep driving after the highway ends, you don't always come back the same. At the edge of that town sits the funeral home where I work. Old brick building. Salt in the walls. Creaking floors. And too much silence. People think funeral homes are scary. They're not. The dead are usually the quietest part. It's the things around the dead that worry me. I'd worked there 3 years when Daniel Crow arrived. Late 50s. Declared dead from a heart attack. Ordinary case. Or it should have been. Until I read his name. Daniel Crow. My blood ran cold. Because I had buried Daniel Crow. A year earlier. I remembered the rain at his funeral. The muddy cemetery. The black coffin lowering into the ground. I remembered watching his grave filled. I remembered it too clearly. And now. His body was on my preparation table. Again. Same name. Same birth date. Same hometown. Same face. I checked our records. Burial plot C-14. Daniel Crow. Deceased 1 year ago. Confirmed. I showed my boss Martin. He stared at the body a long time. Then said something that made my stomach drop. I thought he looked familiar. The second funeral happened in cold rain. Again. Like the first. As if it had happened before. As if it was repeating. And they buried him 20 feet from his original grave. 2 graves. Same men. Same cemetery. That night Martin handed me a shovel. We're checking the first grave. Fog swallowed the cemetery. Our flashlights barely cut through it. The whole place felt awake. Watching. We dug for hours. Metal struck coffin. My heart stopped. Martin pried open the lid. And I saw. Nothing. Empty. No body. No bones. No clothes. Just dirt. Like no one had ever been there. The men we buried had left. Rain tapped the coffin lid. Neither of us spoke. Then Martin whispered. We'll see if he stays put this time. I laughed nervously. He didn't. I should have quit then. I didn't. And that was my mistake. Because 2 nights later, I was alone in the embalming room. Near midnight. Storm outside. Building groaning. I heard metal slide. Slow. Deliberate. I froze. One of the body drawers was opening. By itself. I stepped closer. Drawer half open. Toe tag hanging. My hands shook as I read it. Daniel Crow. But we buried him yesterday. I pulled the drawer open. It was empty. Then. Behind me. Wet footsteps. I turned. Nothing. But the floor. Muddy footprints. Leading away from the drawer. Toward the hallway. Toward the chapel. I followed them. Against every instinct. The chapel doors were cracked open. Inside. Someone sat in the front pew. Motionless. In darkness. I whispered. Who's there? The figure slowly stood. Too tall. Wrong somehow. And when lightning flashed through the stained glass, I saw Daniel Crow. In the burial suit we dressed him in. Soil packed beneath his fingernails. Face pale. Eyes open. Smiling. Then the lights died. Complete darkness. I heard him move. Fast. Closer. A whisper near my ear. You buried me in the wrong place. Then silence. Lights came back. Pew empty. No footprints. Nothing. Just one thing left behind. Fresh grave dirt. On the chapel floor. I told Martin. He stared too long. Then said, "You saw him too?" "Too." I asked what he meant. He walked me to the records room. Pulled a dusty ledger from the 1940s. Opened a page. Daniel Crowe. Buried. 1947. My breath caught. Another page. Daniel Crowe. Buried. 1912. Again. And again. And again. Same name. Same man. Every few decades. Returning. Being buried. Leaving. Returning. Martin looked at me and said, "Some people in Gravesend don't stay dead. They just go back under for a while." I quit the next morning. Packed my car. Drove until fog disappeared. Never went back. But last week, I got a package with no return address. Inside was a funeral program. Black bordered. Freshly printed. One name. My name. And burial plot assigned. C-14. Daniel Crowe's plot. On the back, written by hand. See you at the next service. If you ever drive the Washington coast and see a town called Gravesend, don't stop. And if someone there dies twice, don't stay for the second burial.